Ladies and gentlemen, let me hit you with something real right out of the gate. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. There is no neutral zone in life. You're either pushing yourself forward or you're falling behind. It's that simple. Now, before you say, but Mel, I'm too busy, I've got responsibilities, I'm tired, stop it. Everyone's tired, everyone's busy. The question is, what are you doing with the little time and energy you do have? You don't need to go back to college. You don't need to read 50 books a year. What you need is a decision, to wake up every day and learn something. One podcast episode, one chapter, one lesson, one step forward. Why? Because education isn't about grades, it's about power. The power to pivot, the power to rise, the power to build a life that you are proud of. And here's the truth. No one talks about, nobody's coming to rescue you. Not your boss, not your parents, not the government. You have to rescue yourself. And the ladder you'll climb out with, that's education. That's knowledge. That's you choosing every single day to be better than you were yesterday. So ask yourself this: what did I learn today that's going to help me tomorrow? If the answer is nothing, then change that right now, because life isn't a dress rehearsal, folks. You only get one shot, and every day you don't educate yourself is a day you lose ground. So I'll leave you with this challenge. Get up tomorrow and do one thing, just one, that makes you smarter, stronger, more skilled than you were today. Stack enough of those days together and you won't even recognize yourself a year from now. Educate yourself every day, because the best investment you'll ever make is in you. You don't need a classroom to grow, you need commitment. That's it. That's the truth we avoid, because it's way easier to blame the system, our schedule, or the fact that we're not in school anymore. But growth isn't tied to a desk or a degree. Real growth, lasting, personal, life-altering growth comes from a decision you make every single day to show up for yourself. Think about it. Some of the most successful, fulfilled people you admire, they didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait to be enrolled. They made a choice to become students of life. They turned their downtime into classroom time. Their car became a moving university. Their kitchen counter, a reading station. Their early mornings, a seminar for one. This is the truth. We are living in the most information-rich age in human history. You've got TED Talks in your pocket. You've got experts giving away their best insights on podcasts. You've got audiobooks, online courses, articles, YouTube, apps, interviews, you name it. But what good is any of that if you're not committed to using it? Because here's what happens when you're not committed. You get distracted. You say things like, I want to learn, but then binge 4 hours of content that has zero nutritional value for your goals. And look, we've all been there. We all scroll too much, watch too much, listen to the wrong voices. But the difference between someone who just talks about growing and someone who actually grows is one word: intentionality. When you're committed, you move with intention. You stop looking at your day like it's just happening to you, and you start owning it. You find pockets of time, 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and you turn those moments into momentum. That's how it starts. That's how it always starts. One committed moment at a time. Commitment isn't a feeling, it's a decision. You think people wake up every day motivated to learn, number? Most days you won't feel like doing it. You'll feel tired. You'll feel busy. You'll feel overwhelmed. But commitment doesn't ask how you feel. Commitment says, do it anyway. And when you dow and you show up for yourself, even on the hard days, you build something that no one can take away from you: self-respect. You begin to trust yourself. You start seeing your mind expand. You start applying things you've learned, making better decisions, speaking with more confidence. You're not just reacting anymore, you're creating. You're not hoping for change, you're building it. That's the shift. That's what separates the talkers from the doers. You don't need a classroom to ask questions, to reflect, to be curious. Curiosity is free. And when you follow it with commitment, it becomes your greatest teacher. Ask yourself, what do I want to get better at? Asterisk public speaking, time management, financial literacy, health, leadership, creativity. It's all out there. But you have to want it bad enough to take action. Not someday, today. The person who learns how to learn outside of school becomes unstoppable. Because guess what? The real world doesn't care about your diploma, it cares about your results. It cares about your mindset. It cares about how you solve problems, how you show up under pressure,
how you grow when no one is clapping, and that kind of growth, that kind of excellence, it doesn't come from passively watching others. It comes from you showing up with discipline and saying, "This matters, I matter, my growth is non-negotiable." You're not too late. You're not too old. You're not too behind. You're just one decision away from being the kind of person who learns something valuable every day, and that decision is commitment. So stop waiting for someone to hand you a syllabus. Write your own, pick one thing to get better at, one podcast to dive into, one habit to build, one book to finish, one idea to apply. That's your classroom, that's your curriculum. You don't need walls or a professor. You need you. And when you show up with that kind of fire, that kind of hunger, watch what happens. Watch how fast you separate yourself from the crowd. Watch how you grow into the kind of person you didn't even know you could be. That's the power of commitment. That's how you educate yourself every single day, without a classroom, without excuses, and without limits. Daily education compounds like interests. Small efforts equals big results. It doesn't look like much in the beginning. In fact, it might even feel pointless. You read one article. You listen to a podcast on your commute. You take 10 minutes to reflect, to journal, to apply something new you've learned. It seems like nothing has changed, but let me tell you something. Asterisk, everything asterisk is changing. You just can't see it yet, because growth isn't dramatic. It's not some Hollywood moment with a trumpet playing in the background. It's subtle, it's invisible. It's happening underneath the surface like roots growing before the tree ever breaks through the ground. And just like interest in a bank account, your small daily investments in yourself don't just add up. They asterisk multiply asterisk over time. Let's take two people. One person decides to learn something every day. Small stuff, nothing flashy. They read 10 pages. They watch a video on leadership. They take notes on a book. They try something new, mess up, adjust, and try again. The other person, they say they'll start when they have time. A week goes by, a month, a year. One of them is quietly compounding their skills, knowledge, confidence, and clarity. The other one is stuck, telling the same story they told last year. That's the gap. That's the compounding effect. You don't become wise overnight. You don't become excellent by cramming all your effort into one weekend. The people you admire, the experts, the creatives, the leaders, they didn't get there with giant, random bursts of effort. They got there with asterisk, consistent, quiet, daily commitment. Asterisk, they made growth a habit, not a hope, and that is everything. You've got to stop underestimating the power of showing up every day. Because the truth is, the most life-changing moments often come from what look like the most boring practices. Writing one paragraph a day, practicing your pitch once a morning, watching 5 minutes of educational content instead of another comedy sketch. These things seem small, but small isn't the enemy. Asterisk inconsistency is. Asterisk, and here's the kicker, when you start doing these small things consistently, you don't just get smarter. You start asterisk seeing differently asterisk. Your brain gets sharper. You start making connections faster. You get curious. You ask better questions. You don't just consume information. you begin applying it. And when that happens, your life doesn't just improve, it evolves. Think about compound interest in a bank account. The first few deposits don't do much, but if you keep making small contributions, the interest kicks in and suddenly your growth accelerates. It's exponential. It's powerful. It's unstoppable. That's exactly what happens when you educate yourself daily. At first, it's a whisper, then it's a rhythm, and eventually it's a roar. But none of that happens if you keep waiting for the perfect moment. You've got to let go of this idea that learning has to be grand, formal, or scheduled. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in your life will come while you're folding laundry, walking the dog, or sitting in traffic asterisk if asterisk you decide that every moment is a chance to grow. The best part, it doesn't matter where you start. You can start today, right now, with what you have. You've got a phone, you've got a world, class library in your hand, you've got a voice, record your thoughts, reflect on your patterns, ask yourself hard questions. You've got 15 minutes, use them. Don't wait until you have an hour. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until the conditions are ideal, because they never will be. You know what's ideal, asterisk asterisk starting anyway. Asterisk asterisk, that's how you build momentum. That's how you create a daily practice of personal growth. And that's how, over time, you look back and realize, I'm not who I was. I've grown. I've changed. I've earned this version of me. And yes, it will be hard sometimes. You'll skip a day, you'll feel like it's not working, but remember this, every time you show up, you're investing in a future version of you that will thank you. That version of you is wiser, calmer, more confident, more capable, and that version doesn't come from one big effort. It comes from the small, quiet, daily decisions you make when no one's watching. So don't underestimate 5 focused minutes. Don't brush off the tiny win. Don't think that small equals insignificant. It doesn't. Small equals sustainable. And sustainable equals transformational. You want a better life. Make better deposits into your day. You want more opportunity. Invest in learning something new. You want to change the trajectory of your future. Start compounding today. Because one small step a day, repeated with intention, becomes a mountain moved. And that, my friend, is how real, lasting change happens. Your future is shaped by what you choose to learn today. Every single choice you make right now is carving out the version of you that shows up tomorrow. Not next year, not 10 years from now, tomorrow, and the day after that, and the one after that. Every time you learn something new, no matter how small, you're upgrading the operating system of your life. And here's the kicker. Most people don't even realize they're programming themselves by default, by what they choose not to learn. Think about that. Every minute you spend learning a skill, a mindset, a new strategy, you're putting tools into your future self's hands. But every time you avoid that effort, every time you scroll, procrastinate, say, I'll do it later, you're handing your future self empty pockets, no tools, no direction, no edge, and the world doesn't slow down for anyone. Technology moves, industries shift, the rules of success change every few years. So if you're not deliberately learning, you're not just standing still. You're falling behind. Your future doesn't wait for you to catch up. It belongs to those who prepare for it right now. There's a reason the most successful people, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, athletes are obsessed with learning. They know that talent alone doesn't cut it. They know that what got them here won't get them there. So they read, they study, they ask questions, they invest in themselves, not once, but constantly, because they know the future rewards those who are ready. Here's the truth, information is the new currency. If you're not actively learning, someone else is. Someone else is reading the book, practicing the skill, taking the course, learning how to lead, how to speak, how to sell, how to create. And while you're waiting to feel ready, they're preparing to take the spot you want. That's not meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up. You have more power than you realize. You're not stuck. You're not too late, but you do have a decision to make. Are you going to take responsibility for the direction of your life, or are you going to keep outsourcing it to luck, comfort, and excuses because your future self is coming? Whether you like it or not, and they're either going to be grateful for the work you're doing right now, or they're going to be frustrated that you didn't start sooner. Every single skill you develop, no matter how basic it seems, adds a layer to your future. Learn to communicate better. You open doors in every relationship and career opportunity. Learn to manage your time. You double your effectiveness. Learn how your mind works. You stop sabotaging yourself. Learn to stay calm under pressure. You become the person others rely on. These aren't just tips. These are foundations for the future you say you want. And it's not just about your career. It's about your life. You want to be a better parent, partner, friend, leader. Learn how to be emotionally intelligent. Learn how to listen. Learn how to set boundaries. Learn how to forgive. Learn how to be present. You don't magically become that person. You build them. And yes, it takes effort. It takes time. But here's the thing. The time is going to pass anyway. In a year, you're going to be one of two peoples. Someone who learned and grew every day, or someone who kept making the same choices, stuck in the same place, wishing they had started. Learning isn't about being perfect. It's about being in motion. You don't need to know everything. You just need to care enough to find out. You don't need to take giant leaps. Just take the next step. Read the article, ask the question, watch the tutorial, apply what you know, and when you fall off, get back on. That's how progress works. You don't get a strong future from wishing. You get it from working. Quietly, consistently, intentionally, you show up every day and say, today, I choose to learn. Today, I invest in the future I want. And over time, that version of you, the one who was brave enough to start, becomes unstoppable. So what's it going to be? Another day of coasting, or a day where you pick up one new tool, one new insight, one new piece of strength that moves your life forward? The difference between who you are now and who you want to be is what you choose to learn today. Make the choice that your future self will thank you for every single day. Excuses don't educate you, action does. You can have all the intentions in the world, all the dreams, all the plans, but if you're not taking action, you're standing still. And standing still is not neutral. It's reverse, because while you're explaining, justifying, or waiting for the right time, someone else is out there doing the work, getting smarter, getting stronger, and building the life they want. Let's be real, excuses feel good in the moment. They're comfortable, they protect your ego, they let you off the hook. I'm too busy, I'm not a reader, I don't have the resources, it's not the right time. These are not truths. These are shields, but you don't grow behind shields. You grow when you drop the defenses and do the hard thing anyway. The problem with excuses is that they give you short-term relief and long-term regret. They trick you into thinking you've got time to waste, that you can get to it tomorrow, but there's no guarantee of tomorrow. All you have is today, and if you keep using today to repeat yesterday's habits, don't expect tomorrow to look any different. If you want to educate yourself, really grow, really evolve, you've got to stop arguing for your limitations. You've got to stop telling stories about why you can't and start looking for ways you can . Action is the great equalizer. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need the fanciest background, but you do need to act, even when it's inconvenient, especially when it's inconvenient. You're not going to wake up one day and magically feel like doing the work. That's not how growth works. You won't always be motivated, but you can always be committed Commitment doesn't care about your mood. Commitment shows up regardless. And every time you choose action over excuses, you prove something to yourself, that you're capable of more than your circumstances, your story, or your self-doubt. Think of every time you've made progress in life. Did it come from making excuses, or did it come from pushing past them? Exactly. You already know what to do. The challenge isn't knowledge, it's execution. It's doing the thing when it's hard, when it's boring, when no one's watching. That's where growth happens. That's where transformation is born. Let's say you want to learn a new skill, public speaking, for example. You can spend weeks researching the best techniques, watching videos, reading books. But none of that matters if you never stand up and speak. Real education is active, it's sweaty, it's uncomfortable. It puts you in the arena where you risk failure, rejection, embarrassment, but also where you earn growth, confidence, and mastery. That's the trade-off. Excuses give you comfort now, action gives you strength later, and over time that strength builds into something unshakable, a mindset, a resilience, a momentum that no excuse can touch. The beautiful thing about taking action is that it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be real. Read one page, watch one lesson, write one sentence, try one new thing. Small action beats big intention every single time. And when you repeat those small actions daily, that's where the magic kicks in. Here's the part people miss. Taking action doesn't just educate you externally. It rewires you internally. It shifts your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who procrastinates, someone who avoids, someone who quits, and you start becoming someone who shows up. That shift is powerful. That shift changes everything, and you'll notice something wild when you start acting more and explaining less. Your world changes. You start attracting opportunities, people, and results that used to feel out of reach. Not because the world changed, but because you did. You stopped hiding behind your own excuses and stepped into the responsibility of becoming the person you're capable of being. Now, will it be easy? No. You'll have days where your excuses feel louder than your drive. Days where fear creeps in and says, "Why bother?" That's normal. That's human, but your job isn't to silence the excuses completely. Your job is to not obey them to recognize them for what they are, just noise, and take action anyway. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a decision, a line in the sand. From now on, I take action, even when I'm scared, even when I'm tired, even when I'm not ready. That decision will change your life more than any excuse ever could. So stop waiting for confidence to show up. Confidence is not the starting point, it's the byproduct of action. You build it, step by step, every time you do the thing you didn't feel ready to do. And before long, you realize you're not the same person. You're sharper, stronger, wiser, and it's not because of what you talked about doing. It's because of what you did. Excuses might keep you safe, but they won't keep you growing. Only action can do that, so start today, take the step, make the move, and when the excuses rise up, and they will, just remind yourself they don't educate you. Action does. You are either growing or you're staying the same. There is no in between. Life doesn't pause, it doesn't slow down and wait for you to catch up. Every day is a chance to evolve or remain unchanged. And when you choose not to grow, not to learn, not to challenge yourself, you're not just staying in place, you're falling behind. The world moves, people move, opportunities move, and if you're not moving with them, you're missing out. Growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens by intention. It happens when you wake up and say, I don't want to be the same person tomorrow that I was today. It happens when you decide that stagnation is not an option. Because let's be real, comfort zones are beautiful places, but nothing ever grows there. Nothing meaningful, nothing lasting. When you're not learning, you're not just pausing your progress. You're limiting your potential. You're accepting the current version of yourself as your final draft. But you are not finished. You are not done becoming. You are a work in progress, and progress requires asterisk asterisk action asterisk 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 effort asterisk asterisk and asterisk asterisk intentionality asterisk asterisk. Think about this. Every time you choose not to grow, you reinforce the idea that you're not capable of more. That this is as good as it gets, and that's a lie. That's not the truth of who you are. The truth is, you have untapped potential inside you right now. Skills you haven't discovered, strengths you haven't developed, ideas you haven't explored. But none of that will be uncovered if you keep choosing what's familiar over what's possible. You don't get growth by chance. You get it by choice. You get it by taking risks, by being curious, by asking questions, by doing things that make you uncomfortable. Because discomfort is the cost of transformation. If you're not a little uncomfortable, you're not growing. You're repeating, and repeating isn't the same as refining. Repeating is doing the same thing with the same mindset, expecting a different result. But growth is refining your thinking, upgrading your habits, challenging your perspective, and stretching your capacity. Growth is not easy, but it's asterisk essential asterisk. Staying the same might feel safe, but it comes at a price. It costs you opportunity. It costs you confidence. It costs you the version of yourself you were meant to become. People don't regret the effort it took to grow. They regret the time they spent playing small, playing it safe, avoiding the challenge, and shrinking themselves to fit the life they already had. If you want more, you have to asterisk become asterisk more. That's the rule. You want a better career, grow your skills. You want deeper relationships, grow your emotional intelligence. You want peace of mind, grow your awareness, grow your discipline, grow your habits. You can't wish your way to a new life. You have to learn your way there. You have to grow into the person who can hold the things you're asking for. And yes, growth is messy. It's not a straight line. It's full of failures, wrong turns, lessons learned the hard way. But guess what? That's the process. That's where the resilience is built. That's where character is shaped. You don't grow when things are easy. You grow when you're tested, when you struggle, when you fail and try again. Every single day you're making a choice. Whether you realize it or not, you're choosing between progress and comfort, between evolution and stagnation, between who you are and who you could be. And if you're not growing, don't lie to yourself and call it maintenance. Maintenance is a myth when it comes to personal development. There is no neutral gear in life. You're either moving forward or you're slipping backward. Growth doesn't happen on autopilot. You've got to drive it. So how do you grow? Start small. Ask yourself better questions. What can I learn today that I didn't know yesterday? What fear can I face? What skill can I sharpen? What perspective can I shift? You don't need to overhaul your life in one day. You need to asterisk plant seeds asterisk. Water them daily. Stay consistent. Stay hungry. And over time, those seeds become roots. Those roots become strength, and that strength becomes the foundation for a whole new you. People talk about change like it's this big, dramatic thing, but it's not. Change is quiet. It happens in small decisions, daily choices. It's you choosing a book over a binge, a walk over a scroll, a question over an assumption. It's you deciding to engage with life instead of passively watching it go by. The truth is, you were not born to stay the same. You were born to expand, to evolve, to stretch, to break through. You were made to grow. And every single day you wake up is another opportunity to lean into that growth, to move toward your highest self, to reject the comfort of the familiar and embrace the challenge of becoming. So don't settle for staying the same. Don't call comfort happiness when it's really just fear wearing a mask. Be bold enough to admit you want more. Be brave enough to go get it. And be smart enough to know that growth is the only way there.